So this session will be recorded, and then I'll send it to your professor early next week, and she's going to send it to you or upload it on Blackboard. That way you can rewatch this. So if there's anything you need to rewatch, that will be accessible to you in a few days. But otherwise, let's just jump right in. So first, my name is Samantha Bice. I'm the Reference and Instruction Librarian here at Central Penn, and I'm going to talk a little bit about all of our librarians in a few minutes. But just a little outline of what we're going to do tonight. So first, I'm going to talk about librarians and who we are and what we can help you with. And then I'm going to show you in Blackboard where you can access everything for the library. So some of you might already know this, or it might be new to some of you. So that will be helpful for all of your classes anytime you do research. And then lastly, I'm going to show you 3 databases. First, I'm going to show you Business Insights Global, which is going to be the most useful for you in this class. And I'm going to show you Ebsco Host and Gale, which might be useful for this specific project, but will definitely be useful in other classes that you've taken. And Ebsco and Gale, those might be familiar to you if you've done research here before, or even if you've transferred and done research at other schools. Okay, so let's jump in. I'm going to share my screen. And it's going to look a little crazy for a minute, but that's okay. Okay, so I'm going to hop over here. This is what my Blackboard looks like, and yours probably looks pretty familiar or pretty similar. If you see up here, you can click on Library in the black tab up there, the black banner, and now you're in library information. So we have all kinds of stuff in here, and I know I'm about to throw, in the next like half hour, 45 minutes, I'm about to throw a lot of information your way. Don't feel like you have to memorize all of this, because you can always come back here and see where everything is. So first, it lands on our Welcome tab. And right here is a chat box. So if the library is open, and you can see our hours right here in the middle. If the library is open, there's an actual human librarian on the other end of here. So you can just type in your question right there in the chat box, and then they can get back to you pretty quickly. So here's where I like to talk about what librarians are and what we can do for you. So we all went to college and we got our degree in something, and then we actually went to graduate school and we got a master's degree in library and information science. And I like to say that just to make sure students know that we actually wanted this job. So we really like research, and we like working with students and helping them do research. So if you forget everything else that I say tonight, that's the most important part. Librarians can help you with your research. So right here is our phone number. So if you have a question, again, you can chat right here with us, or you can call this phone number, and that rings to all of our desks. You can email us right here, and that goes to all of our email inboxes, or you can text us your question right here. Or if you have a favorite librarian, which you're allowed to do, sometimes I get excited, I talk too fast, and maybe that's just not your style, you can have another librarian that you work with. That's quite all right. There are 3 of us, and our specific contact information is down here. So there's Diane Porterfield, she's the director, she's my boss, and then here's me, Sam, and then there's Karen, she's our evening librarian and textbook coordinator. So even though we all have slightly different jobs as a librarian, we can all help you one-on-one with your research, so keep that in mind. So that's the first tab, and like I said, that's probably the most important thing that you're going to learn tonight, is just reach out to us. So if there's anything that I explained tonight, and then you go to do your research and you forget what it was, or you need help, or you need us to explain it again, just reach out to us in any of these ways: chat, call, text, stop in the library if you're on campus. So we try to be really accessible. Now here's the next thing. So if we're up here again, under library, and then academic resources. There's a lot of stuff in here. So first is, over here, is APA information. I'm not going to get too into that tonight. You might have me in other classes where I talk about how exactly to do citations. I'm just going to show you where to find that information. So under APA Citation of Format, if you click on APA, you'll have all kinds of information here. And you can see right here, there's 2 videos. This first one, I think they're both less than 4 minutes, so they're pretty short. I walk through how to do a website citation, and then down here I walk you through how to do a journal or a periodical. So you can watch those videos, or if you'd rather have a written example, we have all of these. So if you know that you're citing a website, here's the formula. You just have to follow it. So you put the author's last name, comma, first initial, period, parentheses, the date it was published. So you just walk through it like a formula. And this is an example underneath just so you can kind of see what that looks like. So keep that in mind. This is here for you. It's really easy to use. We can also help you with citations if you're stuck. So that's what I wanted to show you here. The next tab is Find Journals/Other Online Resources. That's where most of our stuff is going to be tonight. So I'm going to show you 3 databases, but before I do that, I'm going to talk about what databases are, just really briefly, because I think a lot of students know, but they haven't ever been explained exactly. So if you think about like Netflix, Hulu, Amazon Prime, so those are all companies that we pay and they give us access to TV shows and movies. That's kind of what databases are. So databases are companies that colleges and universities and hospitals and other places that do research, we have to pay for them. And they don't create the journals and the magazines and the documentaries and all of the information. They just provide access to it for us. So these are all the databases that Central Penn subscribes to. So they do cost money. That means that most of the stuff that you find in these databases, you're never going to find them in Google. They just exist behind these paywalls. So that's why a lot of times your professors want you using databases, because 1, you're not going to find the stuff that they want you to find in Google, and 2, all of the stuff in these databases have actually been published. They've gone through an editing process. They're written by experts in the field and professionals in the field and journalists, unlike Google, where almost anybody can post a blog or create a website and all that kind of stuff, so you're not quite sure what you're getting whenever you Google things. So that's a little background about databases. Now, the rest of the time, I'm going to show you 3 of the databases. And again, I know I'm almost talking at you, but if you have questions and want me to slow down at any point, just let me know, interrupt me. I'm going to show you Business Insights Global, which is obviously going to be some business sources. And then I'm going to show you Ebsco, which has a lot of everything. And then I'm going to show you Gale, which is just like Ebsco. It just looks a little different and has some different stuff in it. So those are the 3 I'm going to show you. So first, you're going to see every database has 2 links. I'm going to show you what both of them are. The first link where it says click here, if you click on that first one, that's going to get you actually into the database. So this is Business Insights Global. You're already here. This is a really, really easy database to use. If you pay attention just for the next 5 minutes closely, you can get most of your assignment done just here, just getting information from right here. So if you were doing research on Nike, for example, you could type Nike in this search box. And if you searched it, you would find a whole list of stuff. What I like to do is I like to go up to companies, and then I go to financial reports. And for whatever reason, this takes a while to load. It did this earlier today too, so we'll wait for it to load. There we go. And then you just type in your company. So I'm going to type in Nike right here and search. And Nike comes up. So I click on that. And now you're going to see a lot of information right here. So whenever you do this, you can just start clicking all over and see what kind of stuff you find. But I'm going to show you a few key things. So first, there's a lot of information here that you can find that might be useful. But if I come back up here, if I click on View Company Profile, I can get the net revenue, the number of employees, sales per employee, all kinds of information, right? There's a lot of stuff here. Historical revenue. Over here, you can click on all kinds of stuff. So if you want the SWOT analysis or the SWOT report, you can just click on it. And I'll open it right here, and then here it is. You can download it, you can print it. But you can see there's all kinds of information. So you've got the SWOT, you've got the strength, weakness, opportunity, and threats. Their performance chart, financial performance. There's a lot of stuff in here. Weaknesses, strengths. So this is helpful. If I close out of this and go back though, so again, I just hit SWOT reports right here. I can also select company histories. I can look at case studies. There's all kinds of stuff in here. just start clicking around. If I go back here and select Financials Dashboard, you can also see there's stuff right here. So it was very quick. I got all kinds of information about Nike just in a few clicks, just by searching Nike and seeing what comes up. There's all kinds of reports in here. Some of this stuff is not going to be in Google. It's not going to be on Nike's webpage either. Or if it is, you're going to have to really hunt for it. So are there any questions about Business Insights Global?
No questions, thank you.
Okay, awesome.
Hey, Sam, can you click
Yeah.
on, while you're in that spot, or actually, can you go to the financials? Can you click on financials there under company information?
Oh, yes. The ratios, right?
Yep.
Yes. So if you click on financials and then right here, you click on ratios, you can see, I believe for your assignment, you have to pick a few ratios. There are all kinds of ratios right here for you. So I'll just scroll down quick so you can see how many there are. There's a lot.
Yeah, so you don't have to actually calculate your ratios for this project. You just need to select your ratios from the information from your research. And just remember to make sure when you're presenting your ratios on your slides that you let me know what the year-end date is for the company that you're researching, because a lot of times students forget to put that piece on the slide. So it's helpful to individuals that are looking at your presentation to know what your year-end date is. I can always go back and make sure that it's the most recent year-end date, but you know, it should be presented on the slide. I want to make sure that I point that out as well.
Yeah, thank you. I almost forgot the ratios.
Yeah, no problem.
So that's Business Insights Global. I'm going to exit out of that. And if there's no questions, I'm going to show you the next database. So the next one is Ebsco. Ebsco has all kinds of information. You're going to see it in a few minutes. Actually, let me backtrack. So before I move to Ebsco, Business Insights Global. You're going to be using a lot of reports for your presentation, for your project. So you're going to have to cite those reports. And again, to get into Business Insights Global, I clicked on this first here. But to find information about how to cite these reports, you just click on this second here. And there's all kinds of information about Business Insights Global, but if you scroll to the bottom, right here, it's about how to cite these things. And you can see, here's the formula, and here's some examples. The thing that most students get confused about is right here where it says author. So it's important to remember that companies can be authors. So it's not a person, it's just the name of the company that created the report. So this is how you cite it. If you need more specific help, you can always go to the Learning Center. They can help you a little bit with citations, or if it's something complicated, they'll send you over here, or you can just chat with us. So if you're doing heavy writing, you can ask some citation questions to the Learning Center. Oftentimes they'll bring you over here or call us. So just keep in mind you don't have to do this by yourself, but it's all right here for you. So keep that in mind. Okay, now I'm going to go into Ebsco. So we click the first here. I'm going to click Ebsco Host Web. Now, if you remember, I said that databases are kind of like Netflix or Hulu. They're these companies that we have to pay for. So if you imagine there's an even bigger company that owns Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime, that's kind of what Ebsco Host is like. So it's a database that owns a lot of smaller databases, essentially. So this list is all of those smaller databases. And we want to search all of them at once. That's the easiest way to do it. So select all and then hit continue. And now we can just type in what we're looking for. So if we want to find something on Nike, we can get more specific if you're looking for something specific. Mostly, I think you guys are going to find most of what you need in Business Insights Global. The reason I'm showing you these other two databases, though, is because I believe your assignment, you have to choose which company you would invest in. And that means you kind of have to look into some other things too, not just strictly the numbers. But if you are doing research on Nike, you're going to want to know What press releases do they have? What kind of, like, are they donating to community nonprofits? Because people like to invest in places that invest in the community. So you can look up news articles, you can look up press releases. Also, is there a scandal? Companies have scandals sometimes, which really makes their value go down. So you want to look into what kinds of things are people talking about with this company right now? What's being published about them? What are people saying? So that could be helpful. So again, all I've done is typed in Nike, and we have over 57,000 results. That's a lot. So you want to start filtering, and I'm going to show you 3 big ways to filter to get exactly what you want. It's kind of like online shopping. So the example I always use is if you're on Amazon and you want a t-shirt, you can type in t-shirt, and then you start filtering. So you would check the box under color that says yellow, and then you would select medium, and then you would select cotton, and then you would select V-neck. So you can get more narrow and more specific that way. So all those filters are over here on the left. You can see there's a lot. I'm just going to show you 3. The first thing you want to do is you want to select full text. And the reason is if you don't select full text, you can see our number got smaller. If you don't select full text, you're going to see a lot of things where you can't open the full article. You can only read the summary of the article. And that's because if you remember, I said that databases cost money, and a lot of them cost a lot of money. So to make it cheaper, Central Penn College and all colleges and universities buy some databases that only have the summaries of articles. That way, if you read the summary and you like it, you can ask your library to get it for you. So if you, for whatever reason, have a really specific research topic in one of your other classes, and you find something that we don't have access to the full text, we only have the summary for you, you can ask us and we can get it for you. But for now, and especially for this assignment, you should be able to find anything you need by selecting full text. So you want to start there. That's the first thing. The second thing is the year. So you probably don't want things from 1937. I suggest doing maybe the past 3 years, maybe even the past 2 years. So I filter for 2017 to 2019, and now we have just over 5,000, so that's much better. And then the last thing is under, let me do that again, under source types. I'm going to hit show more, and now you can select exactly what you want if you know what you want. You can just start looking through the list, but if you know you're looking for a news article, you can select news. Or if you know you're looking for a specific report, you can select that. But I'm going to look up news articles about Nike. Now we have less than 2,000, just over 1,000, which is a much better number. And now we can start scrolling through and seeing what we like. So if I like this title, I can click on it. I can read the summary of it. And if I like the summary, this is where I get the full text over here. So you can see it was published in New York Amsterdam News in 2018. And I can click on the PDF. And then this is the news article. So there's one more thing to show you, but that's how you actually get to the article. The last thing, and this is really important, I just had a student like a week or 2 ago come to me, and she had a bunch of citations, and all she had saved from those citations was this link up here, the URL. But that link will be dead. The second you copy it, it's dead, it's gone. This link won't work. You have to use something called a permalink. It stands for permanent link, and that's over here, this little link icon. If you click on that, this link pops up. That's what you want to save. That's what you want to use for your citation, and that's what you want to save. So make sure you don't save this. That's really important. I even recommend saving the title and maybe even the author, because then we can always get back to it. Because if you're just one letter off up here, or if there's something wrong with the link, you can never get back to it. This link doesn't tell us where to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you click on the link icon again? I missed where that was.
Yeah, it's over here on the right-hand side. Do you see where my mouse is?
Oh, I see now. I
Yeah,
blew up the screen a little bit and I couldn't see that part. So yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So it's the permalink icon. You click on it, and then it pops up.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So that's Ebsco. I know I kind of went quickly. I just don't want to waste your time too much showing you all kinds of stuff because there's so much to show you in Ebsco, but that's the gist of it. It's pretty easy to use. You just tell it exactly what you want, and then you can find stuff and start exploring. Are there any questions about Ebsco? Okay, if there are, just let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to show you the last database. So again, I showed you the Business Insights Global. I showed you Ebsco host. Now I'm going to show you Gale, and this is just going to take a minute because Gale is just like Ebsco, it just looks different. So in Gale, you can find academic articles, you can find magazine articles, you can find photos, reports, pretty much anything. And you just click the first here, just like Ebsco, and you select all and hit continue, just like Ebsco. And then you're in there. So again, you can search. So I'm going to search Nike. And I like the way Ebsco looks more, which is why I start with it. But Gale does have a lot of good stuff that Ebsco doesn't have. So you want to try searching both of them because you never know which one's going to have what you're looking for. But you can see the filters in Gale are all on the top and the right side instead of all on the left side. So it lands on magazines. So up here is where you can select, like if you're looking for news articles, you can select news. And then there's a list there. It already selects full text for you. And then up here where it says sort by, you can do newest to oldest. So then you'll see the newest stuff up top. That's a really easy way to make sure you see recent stuff on the top. And then if you like this title, you can click on it. And then you can read it right here. Or if you want to download it, you can select this download icon, the little arrow, and that would download it for you. So you can print it or save it or whatever you want to do with it. So again, it's just like Ebsco. And then just like Ebsco, you don't want to save the URL up here. What you want to do is where it says download up here, you can select download. And it comes over here. Or to get the link, you select link, and that's what you want to save. So I'm going to show you that again. If you want to save it, you can hit this download button, or it's also right here to save or print. And to save the link, it's up here where it says get link. And then you would just copy this. And that is Gale. So these are all pretty easy to use, especially once you get in there and you have your specific companies in mind. Sometimes you do hit a wall though whenever you're searching and you're like, I want this. Like I want this specific thing and I can't find it. And if you're stuck, just make sure you reach out to us because we can help you sometimes pretty quickly, or we can at least brainstorm with you. Because sometimes it's hard to get out of your own head whenever you've been doing research on the same topic for a while. So that is Gale. I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, are there any questions? I just took about 25 minutes to go through 3 databases. I think a lot of that's going to be really practical for you and your assignment. That should be really helpful, especially if you haven't seen Business Insights Global. It should be pretty quick for you guys to research to start your project. Are there any questions?
No, I think you did a really good job explaining it, Samantha.
Awesome. Thanks, Jordan. What about
Thank
Joy
you.
and Shannon? Anything else that you want me to
Nothing
cover?
from me. No, nothing from me. I have been an Ebsco host before, but I wasn't aware of everything that I could actually get out of it. So that was very helpful. Thank you.
Good. Awesome. Super. Susan, is there anything you want me to expand on?
No, I don't think so. I think the databases you showed are going to be probably enough information more than enough information for the project. But if there's any questions about the final project itself that you guys want to ask me about, we can talk about any questions you have or.
Yeah, now's a good time for that.
Any questions at all?
I don't have any yet. Maybe whenever I'm start to do it, I might have 1 or 2, but nothing yet.
Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
was
fine.
doing the same thing.
Yeah, if you have questions later on, you can, excuse me, you can always post those on the the dedicated discussion board for final project questions. Or you can email me, that's fine too. Or if you want to meet in my virtual office, that's fine too. So there's a couple different ways that we can approach any questions that might come up later on.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
Awesome. Remember, if you guys have questions with research, feel free to chat with us, text us, email us. You can even set up an appointment and we can meet back in this virtual classroom if you guys want me to look over your citations or just help you find stuff. So there are options for you to get help if you get stuck once you start. Otherwise, if there's no questions, you guys are free to go. Thank you. Hopefully it was helpful.
Have a
Thanks,
good night.
everybody.
You too.
Okay,
Thanks,
bye.
Samantha.
Bye. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.